Right, we're on. Is there a secret to golf? Is there a secret to golf? Wow. Could you imagine if there was a secret to golf, but we just don't know it? Well, I believe there is a secret to golf, and I'm going to share that with you today. If we know the secret, we've got a chance. Okay, let's go. So I believe there is a secret to golf. Every golfer has a level of ability. There are so many strange swings out there, but they all do the same thing. But it's up to the coach to get the best out of that player. Now the secret, I believe, comes in a formula. And that formula is something I adopt with all my coaching. It is not rocket science. You've probably heard of it before. In fact, you won't have heard of it before unless you've come for a lesson with me. But it's something we can all adopt to make the game easier, and it is a secret. I'm just going to hit this shot first and then I'll get more into it and let you know what I'm talking about. Good stuff. Okay, I'll repair that in just a second. So what is the formula, I hear you cry? Come on, Steve, tell us your formula. The formula is, go. The formula is simplicity equals repeatability, which equals consistency. Simplicity equals repeatability, which equals consistency. The simpler we make golf, the more chance there is of repeating that, and the result of the simplicity and the repeatability is you'll be more consistent at golf. Now this covers every aspect of the game: driving, chipping, putting, long irons, hybrids, wedge play, bunker play, everything. Simplicity equals repeatability, which equals consistency. And that is how I coach. I mentioned earlier on, coming up that fairway, that there's so many strange swings out there, very, very, very different actions. Just finished watching Cam Smith win the Open Championship about an hour ago. It's now 9:15 at night, so it's quite dark, sorry. How simple was his golf swing? How different was it from Scheffler? How different was it from Schauffele? How different was it from Spieth? Spieth's swing is just incredible. But there's so many strange swings out there, all repeating the same thing, all doing the same thing. They're all simple in one point. They all come into impact at the same place, but they do it the same every single time. So when I say they do the same every single time, as Homer Kelly mentioned, there's 140 quadrillion different actions within the golf swing that are all correct to the individual. So let's take Jordan Spieth for example. Jordan chicken wings. Jordan comes in, chicken wing, bent left arm. First thing that appears behind his back is his left elbow before club head. That's wrong. That's not correct. You would not teach that. Yet Jordan does that the same every single time. Bernard Langer puts his hand on the golf club like that. That's wrong. That is wrong, but he does it the same every single time. Dustin Johnson, bowed at the top, does it the same every single time. These are not things you would teach. Jim Furyk, where does he go? Matt Wolff, what's going on there? But they repeat it, they do the same every single time. Now I'm not saying they're all incorrect. Well, they are all incorrect going by PGA textbook. Oh my. Opened up a can of worms there, huh? By going by the PGA textbook, that's incorrect. But how does that relate to you guys? How does it relate to the average golfer? What can we do that's going to allow us to hit good shots every single time by using my formula? Well, simplicity equals repeatability, which equals consistency. Right, we've got that. In order for you to get the best out of your game, do not, I repeat, do not try and imitate somebody else's swing. Just use the set of tools you already have. It's up to the coach to make that better. You'll already have a level of ability. Your golf coach, your PGA Pro, you yourself will probably know by looking at video analysis of yourself that there's something you do within your golf swing that makes it your golf swing. That's your swing signature. Now whether that be, for me for example, I aim left and I'm in here and I'm cupped. And I know that, but then I get that to come out, but that's part of my golf swing. That's the DNA of my golf swing. I'm not going to change that. That's just how it works for me. I get a bit of that going on, and that's what happens. But I do that every single time. So I keep that as simple as I possibly can. But sure, take parts of other people's golf swing. I mean, Spieth's short game. I mean, little snippets of that. Yes, absolutely take that. Ball position of players, grips of players. Yeah, take these little bits, but understand what makes your swing yours. And then make it simple. Keep it simple. So your coach might say to you, you take the club too far inside. I've always done that, coach. I've always come too far in here, coach. Right, okay. Well, that's the DNA of your golf swing. To change that, or to change your grip, or whatever it is, let's class the inside area here as the fault. But for you, it's the characteristic. So therefore, it's up to the coach. Okay, well, how do we get out of there without coming over the top? Well, if we can get the body to open up more, right elbow to speak to right hip, then from there we can release more down the line. So keep the hands pointing towards target to keep the face squarer for longer. So the player then, okay, well, that's my fault, but I can make that part of my golf swing because I'm way in here. The coach has told me what to do. I can now hit shots like that from coming inside. It's simple. It's keeping what's natural to the player in there. Leave that in there. I mean, if Jim Furyk's dad, who was his coach, I believe, at the time when he was young, if he'd changed his swing to a more traditional swing, or a more pleasing on the eye swing, if you like, you would never have heard of Jim Furyk. You would never have heard his name before. That guy there takes it inside. Let's get the body to work, and then from there we can hold it off like Faldo did to win the Open at St Andrews. Ledbetter got him holding it off, and that would work for you, this guy who takes it inside, taking what he has and making that better. Now that to me is simplicity. And if you keep it simple, you can repeat it, therefore you get consistent. Keeping it simple though, less moving parts the better. So again, if I've got a new player that has a very traditional swing, let's keep as little moving parts as possible. Let's not try and get up to the top and create too much leverage. Let's not get too much wrist action. Let's not get too much weight shift. Let's not get too much bombing up and down. Let's try and hold the angles. Let's get a good setup position, a good hold. And then from there, all you simply do is turn the body, right elbow folds, turn the body, left elbow folds. Simple, simple. Feel as few moving body parts as possible. The more moving parts, the harder it is to repeat. The less moving parts, easier it is to repeat. So easy to repeat, there's hardly any moving parts. I do the same thing all day long. Less moving parts, easy to repeat. And then increase the actions just slightly. So right elbow folds, left elbow folds. That's simple. Then we'll increase the range of motion just slightly, but no more moving parts, just understanding how right elbow folds, left elbow folds, and then you build your swing from there. As I say, the simplicity bit is up to the coach to find out what the traits of your golf swing are. I mean, it might even be as bad as an overswing. You may overswing. Look at John Daly. Now that's not right. John overswings turns and turns, that's all he does. And how often does John do that? Every single time. You couldn't shorten that. That's his characteristic. It's not a fault. It's one of the 140 trillion, quadrillion motions within the golf swing, and that's John's move. So take away from this video today, take away simplicity equals repeatability, which equals consistency, and who doesn't want to be consistent in golf? Oh my God. If you have no trait within your golf swing and you've got a very neutral swing, simple. Keep it simple. Less moving parts, the better. Everything comes round the trunk. Right arm bends, left arm bends, less moving parts the better. Don't worry about leg action, don't try and increase leg action, don't worry about weight shift, less moving parts the better. Because you'll already be doing these things without adding in something you don't have to do. When it comes to short game and things like that, as I mentioned, take a look at Spieth, of course. Spieth will come up with some good stuff, or other players, putting grips, things like that. Of course, experiment with these things, but don't try and copy somebody else's swing because you already have your own golf swing. And if you find a good coach, he or she will make it better. They'll take what you have, my pull inside, my cupped wrist, my hold off there. That's me. That's the DNA of my swing, but I do the same every single time. It's not the most pretty swing. It's not bad though. But I repeat it. So I'm consistent because I keep it simple. And if any of that makes sense to you, subscribe to my channel. It's free of charge. Hit the bell notification for instant notifications of all my videos, and of course click the thumbs up button. I like that, YouTube likes that, and it just gives me the encouragement to make more content. Thank you.